talking AI influencers. If you are thinking about creating an AI influencer or creating a clone or an AI buddy or a dupe of yourself, then you want to pay attention to what I am talking about today. We are talking AI influencers. So, this is an interesting topic. And I feel like in this video, we're going to talk about the effects of AI on us psychologically, especially people who are, I want to say, 45 and up or 50 and up, and just the landscape psychologically when it comes to AI. I really want to talk about that. Of course, I have my notes here. By the end of this video, I also want to talk about if I feel like you should create an AI clone or buddy or a dupe of yourself. I'm going to share my thoughts on it. And I really, really want to share this because I feel like people need a little bit of guidance, and my answer might surprise you. So yeah, I want to also talk about just the thought of AI out there on social media right now and what it means for creators and creatives and what it means for consumers because it's two different sides of the thing. But the first thing that I want to jump on and talk about is just my thought on I don't know. And in this conversation, of course this is a nuanced conversation. In this conversation, I also want you to let me know what you're seeing because I feel like we all see different things on social media, right? Let me know if you feel like, the same. So, okay. I personally feel like most of the people that are sharing the experience of you creating a clone or an AI clone or an AI influencer or an AI dupe are the people who are selling the idea that you should. That might be controversial, y'all. That might be controversial, right? But I feel like the people who are really gaining traction from this, who are, you know, quote unquote, getting a lot of responses and engagement and all of the virality are the people who are convincing you that you should create a clone or a buddy or a dupe. Those people, and secondly, bigger corporations who have created AI influencers or dupes that are doing really well because they have a budget or something to push behind it. Because it's here, guys. It is here. AI is not going anywhere. I have thoughts that I'll share in a few on how we can use AI in a much better way than I'm seeing it being used. I don't know. What do you think about what I just said? I feel like that is something that I do want to share because it's so important for us to understand what is actually happening right now. So, for a lot of people who are business owners or who are, in the creative space or content creators, we are all being told like you should create an AI clone or an AI buddy or an AI dupe. And I shared this on Threads the other day. I got to think about what I shared because I shared something and I feel like it's so important for us to think about it in the way that I shared. Let me see if I can find it. But I also got some pushback on that post, and I felt differently about the pushback. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, 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 guys. That's the sound of the police. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, I have a lot to say about AI, and I just thought that this was a good topic for me to speak about or cover tonight because I feel like I have a lot of people in my audience, in my ecosystem, who are either thinking about if they should or shouldn't create one. I feel like I have people who are excited to create one, and I'll be sharing exactly why I feel like they are excited to create one. And I feel like I have people who are also um nervous about AI and using AI in that kind of capacity, right? So let me see. Okay. So I said on Threads, and I wish I had it so that I can pull it up, but I said on Threads essentially, I like AI, but last year I started using less and less of it. So I shared AI is helpful for workflows and such. And I'm going to share a different take at the end of this, but I'm just reading this for you. AI is helpful for workflows and such, but for me, I'm not training AI to operate as myself on camera. I don't think it will ever sit well with me to create a dupe of myself for my videos, right? It sounds exciting at first, but I'm focused on building my skills and creating art and impact that lasts in the long run. I have so much to say about this. And I said I might do a live stream, right? I'll do a live stream of my thoughts about it next week. And so someone came, I got a few really good comments, but someone also shared, I think in the future you will have an AI clone of yourself to help people, but that will be a separate channel or a separate thing. They said for some people, I think what is going to happen is that they'll finally be able to separate their journey of growth from the helping journey for their audience. So you want to create art and do amazing things because that's your growth and you want to share that. Awesome. But your people might need some help for something. And my thought about that is you can still help people even though you've ended a specific journey of your own. Like, let's say I stop sharing video content or my thoughts on how to be visible or how to build a visible brand. I can write a book. I don't have to create an AI clone or buddy in order to do that. I can create an online course that continues to share that knowledge. Like there are so many things that you can do other than make an AI clone or AI buddy, in my thoughts. But I don't know. Like I said, this is a conversation. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you're in your earphones or headphones, definitely let me know what your thoughts are on socials. Or if you're watching right now and you're watching live and you're on YouTube or you're on Instagram, I want to know what you guys think. How are you guys feeling about AI clones or AI buddies? Now, I want to continue to share just my thoughts about this all. Now, I feel like there is an audience that is over 45, over 50, who are not able to differentiate if something is AI or not, right? I have a lot of family members and I get videos from them all the time. And to me, in my eyes, it is clearly AI. But for them, they really think that it's a real person that is sharing real information. And that is where I get a little bit like, this is a little bit tricky, guys. Like, because what I feel about that is, and this is two sides to this coin. If you aren't aware that something is AI, then you are able to get swayed easily by that AI, right? And so obviously there are some people that can detect that something is AI almost immediately, right? Now, there's another side of things where if you are aware of things that are AI, you may not be as trusting to whatever it is, right? Because you might feel like, if this AI clone or this person is selling me skincare, how am I supposed to know if that works for this AI person's skin or not? How am I supposed to trust that they took this weight loss smoothie and they really went through the process of losing weight? So when people say that if you don't make an AI clone or buddy, or if you're not using AI in that way, like you are going to get left behind and you're going to be obsolete. I don't believe that. Because I need to be able to trust someone real with certain experiences that I am making or certain decisions I am making as a consumer. Okay, so let me just get into the chat for a little bit and then I'll get back in. So the last thing I said that I know is going to be a bit controversial, and I could get canceled for saying it, is that I feel like the people who are pushing AI clones or AI buddies are the ones who are selling it, and they are the only ones that it's working for, because they're selling the concept or the idea of an AI clone or an AI buddy. Do you agree with that statement? What do you guys think? What are you seeing? Because obviously my algorithm might be different from yours. Your algorithm might be different from mine. Maybe you are seeing people who have created an AI clone or buddy and it's really successful, other than the people who are selling it. I have not seen that yet. Media said, I use AI for workflows, but I would not want an AI clone to make my content with, right? I completely get that. I love that Cassandra said, I wanted to hear your perspective on it as it relates to video and visibility. That is why I'm doing this, Cassandra. And you're saying you feel the same way. Listen, I don't know. I had to come on and do this and ask this question. I have other things to share, but I feel like I wanted to come on in a way where I'm asking, what are you guys feeling as well? Dr. Eliza said, I agree. We need to create a system that flows with us. Let me see. The AI clones are easy to spot. They lack emotion. Now, I get what you're saying, Cbar, but at the same time, that is not everybody's experience. I have family members who send me stuff and it's clearly AI, and they don't know that it's AI, or they're not spotting that lack of emotion. And my fear is, as it gets better and better, you know, what's going to happen, right? That is a very scary thought. For example, we've all seen that meme where they showed Will Smith eating spaghetti like a year ago, literally a year ago. And now we're seeing where AI is. If you see an updated AI version of Will Smith, it's a completely different experience, meaning it looks way more realistic. There was a time where we could tell AI by the fingers. They could not get the fingers right, y'all. Okay. They could not get the AI clone fingers right, the AI fingers right. But let me tell you, they've done a much better job at it, right? I'm taking a note because I have a thought that I want to share with you guys. Envy Knows says, sure do. Sure do what? What did I say, Envy? I want to know. um, and so there's so much for us to think about when it comes to all of this. And I'm seeing, I had to ask, and I'm so grateful for the people that are watching and answering. And even if you're watching the replay, please answer, or share your thoughts with me, because what I'm seeing as a general consensus in the live stream is that you guys aren't really for this either. Right. Okay. So the problem with the problem that digital platforms face is that the younger audience can tell what is AI. That's the demographic they want to keep on their platforms. I agree. But I also feel like there's an older demographic who is much more stable than the younger demographic financially, and they can also be led to spend or give money because of AI, which is already happening on the phones. Look at how many or how much older people are losing their savings on the phone by people calling and scamming them, right? And so that same audience is also largely on social media platforms like Facebook and such, and it's getting so good. Listen, y'all, I saw a post on Threads about Cardi B and Offset last night. And I was telling my husband, this post looks so real. And the people in the comments were not older people, because I don't feel like the Threads demographic is like really older people. People were thinking that it was real and Cardi B and Offset reunited. Right. Not that that's our conversation and cup of tea over here, but it showed me the demographic of people that are paying attention. Is not only the older demographic, and that is really interesting for me. Right. So that is something that I really hope that, yes, as you're saying, they're losing interaction because of too much AI content. I agree. But it's not only the older demographic, it's most of them, but it's not all of them. Hey, Faye. So I want to share this with you guys because I am so intrigued by it all. The people who are really selling and pushing this agenda are the people who are making money from it. And so that's something that I feel like we need to, pay attention to. Now, I want to talk a little bit about if you should create an AI clone of yourself. Right. Assist with Leo said there's some videos I have to double check myself. Same. Like now I find myself searching even more for inconsistencies, or for sometimes with an AI video, the mouth movement isn't catching up. And guys, it is going to continue. So I think my fear is about the future and it continuing and getting better. And so I'm grateful that you guys are in the conversation with me because I had to share, like, am I the only person thinking about it this way? Envy Knows says people not knowing if it's AI or authentic. Yeah, that is really, really scary. Oh my gosh. Hey Broderick, how are you? And so, you know, uh it's going to keep growing and it's going to keep happening. But what about the people who are actually here and wanting to amplify their brands or wanting to amplify their businesses or spaces? Should you create an AI clone of yourself? And I want to answer this because it is a question that I feel like a lot of people are thinking about. The first thing that I do want to say is if you are, I want you to think about your long term goals, right? So, this is my audience, this is for my people. Think about your long term goals. I think it's fine if you want to create something like that as a side project that you're looking to monetize for a short amount of time. Zaylee, what do you mean by that? Remember faceless pages on YouTube when it was rampant? Everyone was selling an AI course. They were like, oh my gosh, you have to, not AI course, faceless course. You have to buy this. You need to create a faceless channel. It's the best way to blah, blah, blah. I feel the same way about this because after a while, a lot of those faceless channels began to get shut down. Like people would have multiple faceless channels and then it would get shut down. And so I saw some, conversations about this on Threads that when YouTube started to crack down on those faceless channels or, all the tactics and tricks, which is why I don't teach a lot of those things and I stay away from them, but I don't usually talk about them. But I'm changing that in this season because I feel like I need to talk about these things because people get caught up. Okay. So people who were creating those, when they started getting shut down, people started having multiple, like I need to have multiple pages because one might get shut down today or tomorrow or whatever it is. I feel the same way about the AI clone era. I feel like it is something that is going to happen. But for longevity, if you're building a brand where you're looking for people to grow with you and trust you, it should not be the main aspect of your brand or the main part of your brand. Here's another thing that I'm also seeing. The people who are selling that you should have an AI, clone or buddy or whatever it is, they are not only they're not only creating the AI content, they're also integrating it with them, with their content, with their real faces. And what I want to share about that is what happens in that situation is that you are excited because you're like, oh my gosh, I can create an AI clone or AI buddy of myself. And you're thinking, so I never have to get on camera. I never have to do the work. I never have to be visible. I don't have to do any of that stuff. Right. And you're telling yourself like, okay, I am so excited because I don't have to get on camera. I don't have to be visible. I don't have to set anything up. I can have everything perfectly. And, it's kind of like when you start doing it, and people, your customers are probably visiting your pages and they're like, what's this? I'm not seeing traction for those people. So that is something that I want you to think about. I think this is going to be a thing. Don't get me wrong, in a year, it could be the thing that everyone is doing. But I also feel like right now, the way people are selling it is as a hack. So if all of your videos are of you being a dupe or a clone, I want you to look at what's happening and ask yourself, is this really working like the person who is selling it is saying that it works, right? Of course, I have a few comments. I have some more to share as well. I want to share, if you are on the side of, I am not completely giving up my visibility to an AI clone, what can I do, Zaylee? I'll tell you about that. And yes, I'm seeing C-Bar saying, I also saw news that AI channels on YouTube are being demonetized. I witnessed that happen in person. Yep, I did. So if you are depending only on AI, I want you to think about that. Cassandra, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, Stony Grandma, how are you? I'm using the new YouTube AI, uploading pictures of us and making funny videos. I can't believe how expressive our faces are. It's fun when you're not trying to be real. Exactly. We're old, but younger demographic. Now that's completely different. And if that's what your brand is about, that is different. I completely get that. But we have people who are trying to build a trustworthy, reputable legacy brand and giving it all to AI. That's where I'm like, okay, looks like far less trolls makes, I don't know what I think. Okay, so let me tell you guys what I think about the trolls on YouTube. I think that they're much more active during the day, and so I think when I come on later, we don't see them as much. But I don't know. We'll see. I have noticed a few content coaches are pushing creation of AI clones. Yes, media, that's why I'm here making this video because I feel like they're the ones that are really succeeding from it. And I want to see long term, I want to see what, give me long term results. And we don't have that just yet. Right now, guys, listen, you have to be careful of trends, right? You have to be careful of rooting your legacy business in a trend. That's the that's my message. Be careful of rooting your legacy business or your legacy brand or the thing that you are doing for legacy on this earth. Be careful of giving it up to a trend. Okay, let's see. Okay, Gabe said, I have 2 AI clones of myself. That is amazing. And I really hope it's working for you. Savory Exposure, Broderick said, I think that's why going live will be more important moving forward since there's so much AI out there. I was telling my husband this last night. There are 2 things that I feel like are going to be that I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do this if you are worried about your brand. I want you to be very, very, very authentic. Lately, I've been using like little tiny action cameras to create my content. You guys know I love an action camera, right? This is the Action 6, a little dark in the studio. I have the Osmo Pocket 3. I have all the Insta360 cameras. And what I want to share is like, as imperfect as you can be that, right? So if you are, using your phone or, you're using whatever it is, as imperfect as you can be. I know for my people, this is a struggle because a lot of people struggle with authenticity and showing up as themselves and being themselves on camera, right? That is why you have to practice that skill. But the more authentic, gritty content that you can create that. So when you think about like, even as we progress into this era of AI, it is going to first be mostly talking head videos. So just like this right now, right? Like I'm doing here, talking to you, hanging out with you guys. Just the way that this looks, that is what you're going to see with AI. So that's where they are right now. You will not see an AI video of someone walking around, talking and chatting and doing things. And so that is one way that you can separate yourself from that, because this look of talking head video is going to become really prevalent in the next few months, because that is how they can replicate AI right now. AI is perfection. And so the more imperfect you can be and authentic you can be on camera, it is going to be, your superpower. So that's something that I want you to remember. Second thing, Broderick just brought it up, and you guys know I am I always champion live streaming. I've been live streaming for 10 years, and it has done so much for my business. And so if you are able to live stream, that is where they can't catch you just yet, right? Now we do have AI live streaming, but it's not people. And my husband tells me about this little peanut on TikTok that is AI, right? But it's more of a character than, a person who is AI speaking. So this is where we are going to be able to really root ourselves. And I want you guys to think about that. So Broderick, thank you for that. That was definitely one of my points, right? Okay, let me see. C-Bar said there's still no precedence on ownership. I wouldn't trust these companies not to change the TNC once a precedence is set. I agree with that too. If I train a model to act like me, talk like me, give it my mannerisms, give it my hee hee ha ha, whatever it is, what can they then do with that? And you already see we are not in control of anything on these platforms. So if I'm giving a platform everything they need to duplicate me, then what am I doing? Right? So this is something that I want you guys to think about. Gabe Leo said a lot of faceless channels are getting demonetized on YouTube as well. Think Media did a video on this. I need to look for that video, but I do know that a lot of channels are getting demonetized. It's the same thing happened with faceless channels. And I think a lot of people are always looking for a shortcut. And if you're always looking for a shortcut, you need to check yourself. Check yourself, okay? Because a lot of people doing this are the ones always looking for a shortcut. And so that would mean that you always listen to the people who are giving you the next trend or shortcut. And, trends can be beneficial, but at the same time, not every trend is going to be beneficial for you, right? Okay, so let me see. Coach Siobhan said, I don't want to get on this train, but may need to do so, understanding the technology. So I understand the technology. I think you can use it as a tool. Yes, integration is important. It would be like a mascot or character of my brand. I mean, and you could take that approach as well. I still wouldn't make it me, a dupe of myself. That is something that I would be very careful with. But also, yes, integration is something I spoke about a few minutes ago, and that is really, really, really important. Let's see what else you guys are saying. How are you guys doing tonight? It's so good to see you guys. It does defeat the mission of YouTube, right? I don't know. I think it's the early adopters getting the attention, but the late adopters face the reality that it was just a fad. I don't know. Maybe I might do a follow-up in 6 months, and maybe I might have to say, y'all, I was completely wrong. Or, I will do a follow up and say, what did I tell y'all? I think it's fun. It's something to have fun with, but to completely give your business over to a trend, yeah, that is really, really, really interesting, right? So it's just something that I thought I wanted to come on and speak to you guys about, because I feel like there is so much that I want you to think about. Stony Grandma said, you are my good luck charm. I attended your 3-day challenge right after YouTube gave me a great check mark. Congratulations to you. Listen, I am here for it. I'm so happy that happened for you, Stony Grandma. It's so good to have you here. Listen, I just want you guys to know, hey, Elle, how are you? I sent you a DM earlier. Please message me back so we can get that sorted for you. Yes, Nancy's situation is crazy and so sad. I hope everything works out in the best way possible for her family. But yeah, y'all, I wanted to come on and talk about this because I can see why you would think to, create a clone of yourself or a buddy of yourself. But I just want you to be aware of what your goals are for your business, right? Like what do you really want? Where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years? If it is something that you really care about, or maybe it's just a money thing for you and you're okay with, you're okay with giving so much energy. I think that's my issue, y'all. I think it's the energy for me. The energy that you're going to put into that, you can easily put into building the muscle of getting on camera, building the muscle of learning how to live stream. And the things that I'm speaking about and teaching are not things that are fads or anything like that. Anyone that you admire, or especially in the online space, right? Or a lot of people that we really love and admire, we got to know them on camera. And that's why I encourage people to get on camera, because I know what it can do for your brand or business. C-Bar said it's a slippery slope for sure. When one becomes invested in a trend and the motive is to see it through and make it work, even when it's to one's detriment. Now, C-Bar, that was a bar. Okay? That was a bar. Absolutely. I feel the same exact way. And I think it's just something that we have to be mindful of. Like, in this season, what am I putting energy towards? Is this something that is really going to benefit me in the next 5 years or in the next 3 years? I want you to ask yourself those things. Or am I willing to invest in things that I know are learned skills and could take me somewhere and can do something differently for me? So I wanted to hang out with you guys and just talk about that. If you guys don't have any questions or anything, because I like to do a little Q&A after this, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to share what I'm seeing. And don't get me wrong. I have to say this as well. Do not get me wrong. I love me some AI. I love using it for workflows. I love using it to make things easier in business. I love, the capabilities of AI. But for that, no. Even when it came out a few years ago and everyone in my industry in the video space was so excited and creating clones of themselves, I was not interested. And yeah, and this is like 2 or 3 years later and I'm still not interested. I love me some AI. I love to go back and forth with chat. I've been using Claude for like 2 years now or 3 years now. I love, the ability to make things easier for myself, to repurpose things. I saw someone recently using, I think it was the Claude bot to edit a video. All of those things. You can use it for some things, but you cannot outsource everything. A lot of the work a lot of you guys are running from is the work that you need to double down and do. Okay. Hey, Gary. So I want you to think about that. P.S. Also, I just literally got off, well, not just, maybe 2 hours ago, a call with my Spotlight community members who are currently doing a live streaming challenge. So we're going to be live. Well, all of us who are in the challenge in the community are going to be live every day, and people are already dropping their links inside of our community with, their thoughts and ideas and their live streams. And a lot of people are live streaming for the first time. So isn't that so crazy? I think that is absolutely amazing. Um, Sibar, welcome. We're happy to have you here. You've been preaching this in the comments on producing YouTube. Listen, I'm happy to have you here. And Claude is kind of amazing. I'm not going to lie either. I love me some Claude. I think I'm going to also do a video where I break down the difference between Claude and ChatGPT, because I've been using Claude for so long, and I'm going to find my threads on Threads where I spoke about Claude a few years ago, because I thought it was so much better than chat. And I want to show the differences. I think I might do a video on that because I'm really, really interested. Gary said, did you get anything from the Gap collection? Absolutely did. I absolutely did. I absolutely did. And I did also get that shirt that you and I were speaking about. I had to. Let me see. Cbar said my Claude is building a website for me right now, and it actually works. It's kind of wild what Claude is able to do. Recently, I was revamping the sales page for my membership, and I was able to have Claude give me an idea or vision of what the sales page could look like. And I liked what I saw. I didn't use the exact thing, but I loved what I saw because it thought way ahead of of how I would think about it. And I think those are cool ways to use AI. Visualize this for me. Show me what this could look like. Show me what I'm not seeing. Things like that. I think it's so good for. But completely duplicating who we are, man, I don't know, y'all. And so I'm going to keep a pulse on this. I'm going to, and if you have someone who has created a clone and is doing exceptionally well, I don't know, let me see. The other thing is, like, back in the day, I never really loved stock photos that looked too perfect. And so some people are using AI photos as stock photos, and I don't like that either. I don't like that either. I have thoughts. I have so many thoughts around this conversation. And so this year I told myself, when I'm having these authentic conversations, these talking head, thoughts that I also add to my podcast, the Brave on Video podcast, I am going to start speaking my mind and saying what I feel, because sometimes I do have these conversations, whether it's my husband or on the back end or in my memberships. We have our conversations about these kinds of things, but I never share them on the front end. And I really wanted to get on and share it today. Gabe Leal said, I feel you for using AI on workflows, building systems, and things like, yes, that is how I use it. And I think it's really beneficial using it that way. Although you have to be careful because we're becoming victims of groupthink, meaning that now that everyone is using AI, we are also saying the same thing on social media, sounding the same way in our email marketing. Everything is so similar. Like, I want us to also, when I shared the thread that I made, it's because I don't want to sound like everyone else. And I don't want to look like I don't need everyone else to be sounding like me or me sound. I think somebody said it earlier. If you were an early adopter, you were onto things, and I'm always usually really early to these parties, right? But then as time goes on, you start sounding like everyone else. You lose your voice. And so I have so many thoughts, you guys. But what I do appreciate is you hanging out with me. If you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram, if you could give a like to this video, I would appreciate it so much. It just lets the platform know that whatever I shared here could be helpful and might be helpful for someone to listen to or tap into or watch. So if you can do that, I would really, really appreciate you. Tomorrow I will be live again. I got to figure out what we're going to talk about tomorrow. What should I talk about tomorrow, guys? I had so much fun chatting with you guys on the channel today. Let me see. I love this. Seabar, I love it. Really active. AI imagery is just too clean. Your advice about imperfection is important because AI has the inability to create unique imagery. Exactly. I think I have so many thoughts about that. And I completely agree with what you're saying. And I love that you're sharing it. And I think that as we move forward with our content, whether it's videos, whether it's photos, whatever it is, AI can easily replicate the perfect things. So thank you for being here. I love you guys. And I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll figure out something for us to talk about. Thank you so much, Fallon. Hi. I appreciate you. And if you watch the replay of this video, I want to hear your thoughts, because I feel like I gave some, spicy takes on things that a lot of people may not like. I might lose some people along the way, but I have to tell the truth, and I have to let you guys know if something is, I'm not feeling this, and I want you guys to pay attention. Stony Grandma, as usual, I appreciate you being here. I love that I know my people, like people who are always here, or who have popped up, and I'm getting to know you guys. It's just such a blessing to be able to hang out with you guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you have some thoughts on this video, drop them below. We're going to keep it published on the channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me. Y'all, I will talk to you later. Bye.